What's up guys, Chicks there from Chicks Tech Reviews. So we have two smartphones on this desk, which are slightly different but they share the same goal. Now these two smartphones are also trying to force a change to the current game, offering a budget price for a mid-range performance, also pushing the boundaries of what we consider a budget smartphone. So here we have the Poco X3 NFC versus the Google Pixel 4a. Now this is going to be a camera comparison video, but it certainly won't hurt to quickly compare the specs. So the specs are color coded, green shows what's the same and red shows what's different. Price, $249 versus $349. So the question is $100 extra for the Pixel 4a worth it? Well, as you can see, the Poco has some clear advantages. Bigger screen, 120Hz refresh, Gorilla Glass 5, micro SD slot, infrared, FM radio, bigger battery and faster charging, and you even get some basic IP rating to go with it. It's $100 cheaper than the Pixel 4a, but the Pixel offers a more compact size with an OLED display with a slightly better PPI and of course the latest Android 11. So the only real deciding factor for some people still could be the cameras. So how do the cameras compare? Is there a big difference? Quad cameras on the Poco versus single camera on the Pixel. So let's try and find out, shall we? So first of all, rear cameras, maximum resolution 4K at 30 frames per second. Plenty of sunlight and both clips look pretty good. However, you will notice a slightly higher color saturation on the Poco. Still doesn't look bad, but Pixel certainly represents the colors more accurately. Camera comparison, Google Pixel 4a versus the Poco X3 NFC. We are testing out the cameras. Front facing cameras first of all. I'll put the resolutions on the screen. Yes, it's 6:30 in the morning, people. Nice breezy rainy day. It's raining a little bit and I think we're forecasted rain in the UK for the next 3 or 4 days. This is also a microphone test and this is also a low light test. So it's early morning, 6:30. It's just about sunrise. Switching to the rear cameras. So this time we are shooting in low light with the rear cameras, 4K 30 FPS on both. It does look like the Pixel video quality is clearer. The floor, the grass, the trees all look more refined and detailed. Now the Poco is producing a slight blur with every step I take. The stabilization is struggling in low light on the Poco. The Pixel has a similar issue but handles it a lot better than the Poco. Interesting results with the rear cameras shooting at 4K 30 in low light. So onto the photos, and I'm simply going to test the main sensors. So 13 megapixel versus 12 megapixels. Poco can also shoot 64 megapixels, but you actually have to select 64 megapixel mode within the Pro mode. But by default, if you open the camera and start snapping shots, it will be 13 megapixels on the Poco. So apples to apples, this is what you can expect. Simply point and shoot, great results on both cameras, nearly the same results on both. However, things change when you start taking close-up shots with the main sensor. The Pixel starts becoming a little bit more superior in terms of better overall focus and more detailed results. I'm not saying the Poco is bad. Poco also produces some pretty decent looking close-ups with the main sensor. And what do you guys think? Which device takes better looking shots? In your own opinion, would you go for Poco or Pixel when taking photos? So let's wrap this one up. It's all about giving you guys a simple test on how the main cameras perform head-to-head for both videos and photos. Yes, there are many features which I have purposely not covered in this video, as I've already covered them in their full reviews. Now, Poco has many more lenses to play with, including wide angle, macro, depth, and lots of built-in modes. The Pixel is limited to only one lens, but amazing software with features like night sight, astrophotography, and lots more. I think for everyday practical use, both devices perform well. The Poco is surprisingly good considering it's $100 cheaper than the Pixel. Now beyond the cameras, there are many reasons why one device is better than the other, but if we just talk about the cameras, I think the Google Pixel has the best software processing we have seen in a smartphone, which is why in most of the comparisons we see better overall detail in the Pixel, and the video image stabilization is also much better in the Pixel. Now, above all, it's important to note that both smartphones are actually pretty good. Now, the Poco likes to oversaturate the colors to make the results look better. I know it's subjective, in some cases it actually does look slightly better, but if you're someone who needs color accuracy, then you might be swaying towards the Pixel. Above all, it's important to note that both smartphones are brilliant. Not just in the camera department, the overall experience is outstanding. Furthermore, the Pixel and the Poco has won me over to the point where I'm starting to ask myself, do I really need a flagship smartphone? Spending even $500 to $600 seems too much money because I can technically do everything on these smartphones, from playing games to shooting nice looking 4K video. Now, in this current time of crisis, we need value. Completely F spending $1,000. Now is definitely not the time to do it. There is too much uncertainty going around. Value is what we need right now. Mid-range devices on a budget price. That is ideal. And instead of saying that this device is the winner, I'm actually going to say congratulations to Google and Xiaomi for creating devices especially for the people. Now, Samsung just launched its fan edition of the S20. It's priced around $599. And you know why they did it? Because they also understand now is not the time and they need to offer better value. So the Poco and the Pixel 4a are going in the right direction. These phones are called flagship alternatives. So maybe not flagship killers, but good alternatives. And right now, I would certainly recommend a solid mid-ranger over the $500 to $1,000 flagship counterparts. So let me know your thoughts. Which one could you see yourself using on a daily basis? The Poco X3 or the Pixel 4a? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Meanwhile, I will leave some useful links in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have an amazing day. I'll see you guys in the next one.